The Knights up against the Dragons. Newcastle with their teenage sensation, Jessie Southwell, and the premier prop in the game, Millie Boyle, hoping to reach their first grand final. There is Jessie Southwell on screen. A terrific number 7. The Dragons, they're looking to make their third grand final. Paige McGregor, one of their more experienced players in their team. Watch out for her this afternoon. Has had a very good campaign so far. There is Millie Boyle, ready for action. The Newcastle Knights prop forward. The Knights hoping to make their first decider. The start of a terrific afternoon of rugby league action on Nine's Wide World of Sports. The winner through to the grand final at Accor Stadium next week. There'll be fireworks in this one, the Knights and the Dragons. They did battle last week in Gosford, but don't write anything into that result. Look at Elsie Albert. Great run for her first touch. The Dragons are 10 short of the halfway line. Now they almost reached the halfway line through Holly Wheeler. Ruan Sims in commentary with me this afternoon. How good is this, Ruan?
Hey, Saltsy. Hello, everybody at home. And Kezzy Apps has got a second touch for this set, playing in the middle today. Normally, we see her on that edge there. Sat out last week's loss. They'll be looking to her for lots of leadership today, but a good physical start by the Red V.
There's a second touch there for Elsie Albert as well. So all the big guns, Wheeler, Apps, Albert getting involved. Pearson puts up a kick. Tamika Upton returning from injury this afternoon. Flies high, takes that one well. Started in the sun, took it in the shade. Be a few players, I think, starting to look for the shade this afternoon because it is very, very warm. Extremely
hot conditions down on the sideline. I'm sure Fergo will have an update for us very, very soon. But this defensive set to back up such a good physical start with the ball in hand from the Red V, they're backing it up with their D now.
Saw some nice work out of dummy half from Olivia Higgins there before she found Millie Boyle. And Higgins is having a really good season, isn't she? She's providing that spark out of dummy half and also very creative from number 9 as well as Southwell. Puts in a kick, Emma Tonegado. Well, that's off her foot. Sat up for us. She's still in the in-goal area. But a good result here for the Knights. If they can trap her there, they do.
Good chase, good kick, kicked exactly where I thought they would, into that sun. And just, again, backing it up defensively. It's a good physical start. They were really pinned down by the Dragons with the ball in hand, but this is an opportunity now for them to turn the tables.
We talk about the likes in this Knights team of Southwell and Boyle and Upton, but just going back to Olivia Higgins, she has been playing some very good football.
She has been, and off the back of those players that you've spoken about as well, and I think Emma Munzelman off the bench has been enormous for the Knights, and I think the Knights have a really, really strong rotation in that aspect.
Kezzy Apps, there's some solid contacts on Kezzy from Caitlin Johnston. Good defensive set there from Newcastle, and the kick from Hopkins is a very, very good one. Tukarangi gets it to Upton, and when Tamika gets it, you've got to watch out. Well, let's check in.
Hang on.
Well, there's a mistake, is there? Penalty, high contact. Well, the Knights are thinking about what they're doing with this penalty. Let's take your sideline. Alana Ferguson. Alana, great afternoon, isn't it?
Elsie, yeah, you couldn't ask for much more on the weather front. There's close to no breeze down here. As we see Tamika Upton copping a bit of a hit here. I think Elsie Albert, yeah, gets her in the side of her head. The ball comes loose. But I think we can expect some pretty fast football today. Fatigue will definitely set in because the forecast is 26, but I was standing in the sun before and it is hot. So whilst it encourages that open, skillful game, the conditions and fatigue might set in a little bit earlier. The NRL have implemented a drink break, so we'll see that in the first game at halftime of the first half.
Now after 17 minutes, Elsie Albert, by the way, on report. That hit on Tamika Upton. So there will be a break for a couple of minutes after 17 minutes in this first half. Johnson playing it. Higgins goes out of dummy half. Keely Davis, one of the defenders there for the Knights. Southwell. There's a good run from guess who? Millie Boyle pops it out the back. Southwell's got it and lost it. Or did she? No, she's still got it, says Casey Badger. So it's play on here for Newcastle. Last tackle. Kira Dibb puts that kick up. It's an awkward one. Well, it's more than awkward.
This touch will be played.
That was a horror.
And I think they're claiming it's been touched
It was.
here, so this will be a Knights ball. That was a little bit messy there. Southwell, I think there was a claimed it had been touched by a Dragon's hand, but Casey Badger ruled that it just play on. Still last tackle, but this opportunity, a midfield possession, 10 metres out. The Dragons are really going to have to muscle up. They started really well physically, but the Knights have just been able to get a little bit of ascendancy back.
So the ruling there is that off the legs of Emma Tonegado and into touch, so they played that it went out. It wasn't a knock on, so Millie Boyle will play it. So play the ball, not a scrum. Higgins, now Southwell. Oh, great hit there on Johnston. It was Elsie Albert and Holly Wheeler. Bang, what a shot. Now Millie Boyle for the line. She'll almost get there, rolls over. She's half a metre short. Boyle will play it. Higgins to Johnston, who crashes over. But he's held up.
Tackle 3,
Good defence from the Dragons.
Great defence, but also that footwork in traffic by Millie Boyle there. She got the ball 3-4 metres out, put on a nice little step, almost found her way over. But the Knights are pushing.
They certainly are, as Upton's got it. And the Dragons' defence cracks first try of the afternoon to Tamika Upton, back in the team and doing what she does best, that's scoring tries.
Well, I spoke about the footwork of Millie Boyle previously, but as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, it's going to be the footwork of Jessie Southwell. Lovely clearance from behind the ruck, finds Southwell, and guess what? There's space moving around back on the inside, and Upton, who always puts herself in the right position to be able to get over the try line, has great footwork here, but it's actually, if you see here, it's the movement. I think it's Romania. Comes around behind, gets Holly Wheeler interested, and that's what happens there. Apps can't backfill the space. Tonegato's already pushed out because she's seen Southwell. That's where the danger is. And Upton, she just finds her way through any small gap. Alana.
Yeah, you can put this good territory and opportunity down to Kira Dibb. That fifth tackle option that earned them the repeat set and chance to have a crack at the line. You see she gets her foot belly under the ball, a little bit of a torpy, too hard for Emma Tonegado to get grips on, and then the ball playing off the back of it. If you were wondering how much of an impact Tamika Upton was going to have this game, I think you just got your answer.
And the conversion successful.
Rachel, I'll tell you when. It's not long. Stay onside.
So 6 points to nil lead to the Knights. And you've already seen in the opening 7.5 minutes just the danger that they have right across the park. Weapons everywhere, this young Newcastle team. What about that run? Johnston. Terrific charge. Dragons better watch out. The Knights on the front foot. Kira Dibb tackle just short of the halfway line. Higgins to dummy half. Southwell to Boyle. Millie Boyle thought about an offload, but Elsie Albert wrapped the ball up. Holly Wheeler was there as well. Now Southwell getting plenty of touches. There's a kick away from Tonegado. One bounce, and Emma will get it just inside the field of play. Gets up over the 10. Tried to put on the accelerator, and Yasmin Clydesdale was there to help shut the dangerous Dragons fullback down.
You know, pre-game, Salty, when we saw that vision of people outside watching the game, there was a sign that some Knights fans had. Turbo Titter, and it was Tamika Upton, and gee, she showed them a little bit of speed there. She's so strong on her feet, but look at this defensive effort from the Knights. This is what they need to see. They've been really astute with their kicking game so far this half.
Elsie Albert, a player that can get the Dragons moving forward. Desi Apps gets an offload. Good hands too from Elsie, who winds up. Oh, but left the ball behind. That was good work.
Well, Kezzy Apps got the arms free, and it was a lovely offload. Elsie Albert was away for all money, and it was just Romy Teitzel standing between her and the try line, and Teitzel went for the tough play, played at the ball, and it came up trump, so the Knights again already into the Dragons' half.
Tamika Upton at first receiver, good run. Good tackle by Mona Lisa Soliola. Now Southwell. Nice little pass there too to Upton. This is dangerous. Romanuk to Boyle. Millie Boyle brush away from 1, 2. Looks to brush away from 3, 4. Gets to the line and scores. Millie Boyle. What a superstar. What a try.
Salty. You know I love a front row try, but this has skill just written all over it. The Harvey Norman replay is going to give us the best view of this. It's a great lead-up play. Second phase play is where you're going to find the majority of space in the women's game at the moment. Tamika Upton had 2 touches in the lead-up here. Romaniak had great hands to find Millie Boyle. She had footwork, she had power. Again, across the body fend, I think on Keely Davis there, and rolled her way over to the try line. This will be a good angle. Look at this from Southwell. She's so powerful, but it's the offloads. That second phase play is crucial, especially in conditions like this when you need to scramble defensively. But watch this front on. Boom. Lockie.
Good, Roo. Prop forward doing that, you must love that. But the fatigue's starting to set in with the Dragons. They're trying to be physical, but the spaces are starting to appear for the little players. And they're about to, as Kira Dibb comes in to convert this one, they might go out to a 12-0 lead. Here we go. There it is.
And it's there. Millie Boyle, what a try, what a player. 12-0, the Knights on fire. They were the team on the back foot early, in the opening few minutes. Look at Boyle toying with them. That call of held came just at the right time there for the Dragons. Ellie Johnson, nice pass, good hands from Higgins. Now Boyle, Teitzel. Romy Teitzel, consistent performer for Newcastle in each and every game, was fullback last season. Looking very comfortable in the back row. Johnston thought about a pass. So Higgins rather thought about a pass, but took the line on. Now Southwell to Upton.
Off now, Zoe.
Head half poked through there from Tamika Upton. Romanuk. Tackled 9 into Dragons territory. This is the last tackle. They go to Kira Dibb for this kick. Puts it high. There's a test. What about where that landed? Right in the line of the sunshine and the shade. Perfect kick.
Yeah, you're right, Salty. I spoke about this earlier. The Knights' kicking game at the moment has just been on song. They're finding space, they're finding the ground, they're really forcing the back three of the Dragons to move around and making them really tough takes.
They need a spark here, the Dragons. They've got plenty of players, Roo, don't they, who can provide it, whether it be Fume Ono, Rachel Pearson, but Emma Tonegado. How do they get Emma into the game more?
Well, at the moment, it's just the Knights are actually just forcing them through the second phase play. They're having to chase and scramble, and that takes a lot out of the tank defensively. So what they need to do, they just need to try and absorb that pressure, find the right moment to pull the trigger and get her involved that way. But they can't try and force their hand. They just need to ride this wave at the moment.
Tamika, oh, there you go, that's a game changer. Plucking it like a thief in the night and scoring a try for the Dragons is Tegan Berry. Stuck the arm out, the ball stuck. Try the Dragons.
That works as well. That works as well. This is brilliant work. So we've seen the Knights try and move that ball around. On the Harvey Norman replay, the kick is great. Zali Hopkins comes in with a nice kick. It's kicking down the correct side with the sun in her eyes. Upton, who's been so strong with the ball, tries to link up with Shanice Parker, but Tegan Berry is right in the lane there, and she does brilliantly. What she does so well, we'll see this on replay, she actually taps the ball up instead of trying to play at the ball down, and that gives her the opportunity to try and grab it. Alana?
Yeah, big individual effort from Tegan Berry there. It was interesting, I was watching a lot of their plays in the set in the lead up, and there were plenty of hands on hips. The fatigue is well and truly setting in. A lot of those players in the sun, but what an effort to get a bit of momentum for the Dragons from Berry.
Tegan Berry with the try, and that'll give the Dragons a massive lift. Darius Boyd scoring a similar try at that exact area of the field against the Roosters in a finals game a few years ago. And now the attempted conversion. Tara McGrath-West coming on the field for the Dragons, and that try's converted. Six-point lead for the Knights over the Dragons.
Stay outside.
And in just under 3 minutes' time, we will be having a drinks break because we keep saying very warm conditions. A sun-soaked Suncorp Stadium on this Sunday afternoon. They needed that one, the Dragons. In danger of the game getting away from them, but that'll give them a massive lift. Made mention just as the conversion went over before, as Holly Wheeler gets a pass away to Soliola, that Tara McGrath-West on the field, and she's been very good the last couple of weeks. She was originally named to start this afternoon, but coming off the bench. Wheeler, now Tonagato, what does she do? Goes short at the bend. They're 30 metres away. It's a good set of 6 after points here. Still 2 tackles left in the set. That's to Wheeler. Tackled by Johnson and Clydesdale. Here's the last. Pearson kicking for the corner. That's a good take there from Emanita Paki. Rookie of the Year in the Queensland competition, the BNP Premiership.
You touched on why it was such a great set for the Dragons. Soliola down this right edge. Oh, they're lucky to get away with that play the ball the Knights. But down this right edge, Soliola, that was a really strong carry. Helped them get them on the front foot, and you're exactly right. McGrath-West will be huge for them in the middle.
And there she is making a tackle, and nowhere really for Millie Boyle to go there. A good defensive player is Tara McGrath-West.
And importantly, Salty, wrapping the ball up, especially on her and Caitlin Johnston. They've got the offload in them. They need to wrap that ball up. The second phase play is what's been hurting the Dragons.
Romanuck playing it. Now Southwell kicking from outside the 40. Floating in the air, taken there by Fui Maono.
Caitlin.
That's Johnston leading the chase down there. The front row in the hot conditions. Running it back is Andy Robinson for the Dragons. Well, they've got some speed on either side of the field to the Dragons. And Robinson and Berry. At the moment, the focus in the middle through Wheeler. Apps. Now, Hopkins to Tonegado, but that was well read by the Knights defence. Tara McGrath-West. Romanuck over the top. Higgins down low. Kick here from Hopkins. Wants McGregor and Berry to chase. Well, Tamika Upton did well. And there's a little step and another step from Upton, and she nearly snuck through again. And what a way to start off the set, because now Clydesdale finds another 13 or 14 metres. Yasmin Clydesdale, the former Rooster, playing it.
They've just made a couple of interchanges, the Knights. The heat is definitely getting to the packs at the moment. Caitlin Johnston is off. Simone Carpani is on. But they are making huge metres through the middle here, the Knights ruck.
Yeah, here's Romanuck. Southwell.
Middle 16.
Puts up a kick for Tonegado. Takes it well. Emma searching for an opportunity there, but it was a good chase from the Knights. Always scheming. Two very good fullbacks on show this afternoon. Paige McGregor driven back. There's some good defence. Carpani was in there. Should be used to seeing that from Simone Carpani. Terrific defender. So the next stoppage, there'll be a drinks break, because the heat policy is in play. And the next stoppage, they'll break for a minute or so, as Shaylee Bent playing it. Pearson. It just hangs up there. Parky's put it down. And with the scrum, they'll stop play for a drinks break.
Now, and then we'll have the scrum.
12-6, the Knights in front of the Dragons. So 12 points to 6, the Knights in front of the Dragons. And both teams, not surprisingly, just setting up camp in the shade.
Well, and even after that the intercept try by Tegan Berry, both camps were in the shady part of the stadium, just taking their drinks break. And, you know, I might try and bring in Lockie and Alana on the sideline. What's the chat been like with the players out there? Has the heat been affecting them? Their comms? How's it been down there?
The talk's been really good. There's a high-quality game of football. Fatigue is definitely starting to set in. The Dragons have missed 14 missed tackles already to the Knights 4. So I just think that the little players for the Knights, as this game goes on, will be a threat, particularly in the middle of the field. That's where, if I'm the coach of the Dragons, that's where I need to fix our defence up. Alana, how are you seeing it?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Knights are getting those quicker play the balls. Very hard to contain. They've also made more offloads. So that second phase footy is really worrying the Dragons. If they can tighten up that, they're in with a chance.
Tegan Berry's got it. So after the break, they're able to go right on the front foot here. The Dragons, 16 metres away from the line. We could be all locked up in a moment. Tara McGrath-West, straight and hard from her. Keely Davis will go to dummy half. She loves this sort of situation. Here's Wheeler to Kezzy Apps, and Apps is tackled a metre away from the line. Davis goes to dummy half. Finds Pearson. Tonegado puts on a step. All the eyes went towards Fumeono. Tonegado originally wrapped up. Davis drifting across field. Hopkins. There's a good tackle.
Shanice Parker.
Yeah, Shanice
what a
Parker.
read.
Now the little grubber kick through, and again, and getting there is Bobby Law. to save the day for the Knights. The Dragons nearly with what would have been a great try.
Well, Keely Davis, this is what she does so brilliantly. Her ruck recognition is perfect. Her kicking game that she's developed over the last year or two is fantastic. She threads the ball so beautifully, and her ball drop is lovely. She almost comes up a second time there, and it's actually been knocked out from the field of play, but goal line dropout here for the Knights, and Southwell looks like she's setting up for a shortish one.
That second kick from Keely Davis was more good luck than good management, but doesn't matter.
You'll take it, you take it.
They get the repeat set. Tara McGrath-West, 20 metres away from the line. Centre of Suncorp Stadium. Big opportunity for the Dragons. Wheeler, Pearson, Tonegano! Emma Tonegano for the corner! Wow, what a try, the Dragons!
That shift, what a beautiful long shift out to the right edge, and it's an individual effort here from Tonegano. Everyone did their job in the lead up, but Tonegano, pace, power, on full display. Have a look at this on the Harvey Norman replay. They're set up on the far left upright. Nice shape. Soliola runs back on the inside, but she just shoves away from a couple of tacklers in the Knights there, and the Knights scrambled well in the previous set of 6, but this one, Tonegano was on fire. Alana.
Yeah, a repeat set teed up by Keely Davis. The Dragons got another crack, but this is what Emma Tonegano needs. She needs nice and early ball. She's such a powerful runner, but holding the ball in that right arm gave her the ability to be able to palm off some of those defenders and just breaking the line. She's too good. She needs more of that, Emma Tonegano.
What a good try, Emma Tonegano. Look at it on this angle. Brilliantly done. Hang on, or was it?
Yep. All right.
What are we looking at?
Shorty tries under review, looking for a possible knock on.
Oh, possible knock on. Upton is around.
The arm's always on the ball, isn't it, Roo?
I think the ruling might be whether she re-grips it.
Emma Tonegano loses possession of the ball and fails to re-grip it before grounding in the in-goal, which constitutes a knock on. Have a decision.
Over to you, Roo.
Why me? Just because we use the same word. That was the only thing. Watching it live, I thought I'd play on. I didn't have a problem. But when you look back at it at that speed, you see that it has come away, and she hasn't re-gripped it before going to the ground or to the surface. But it was wonderful lead-up play, and I think that Lockie, that they'll be pretty happy with what they've done when they got the ball into their own 20.
Yeah, that was some really good attack, and unfortunately, Tonegano just lost it that last little second, which, look, well, none of us saw it here on the sideline until they started reviewing it, and you slow it right down and you see that little error from Tonegano. So unfortunate for the Dragons. As I said before, they just need to get their defence right in the middle of the field, and they're right in this game.
They've got to hold their heads after that one. Emma Menzelman is on the field for the Knights. There's someone the Dragons defenders will have to watch out for. Solid contact there, the head rock back, and now driven back is Kira Dibb.
Holds her feet though, does really well here, and garners a penalty for the Knights. But when Lockie spoke about the middle opening up defensively for the Dragons, Emma Munzelman is one that can really get that going for the Knights. And on the opposition side, we just saw there Quincy Dodd, big contact, Keely Davis. Quincy Dodd has the ability to do the same thing, especially close to their own line. She's so dangerous.
Now the Knights. It's been a roller coaster ride this first half. Both teams with their fair share of momentum going their way. Now the Knights looking to make the Dragons pay for that missed opportunity with the no try to Emma Tonegano. Higgins. So she stays on the field with Emma Menzelman coming on. Plays almost like a lock forward. Here's Millie Boyle with an offload. Menzelman, dummy to Dodd, goes on her own. Oh, she's elusive. Eventually they get to her. Holly Wheeler was there along with Dodd. Now, there's a nice ball to Clydesdale, who's put down Menzelman goes to dummy half. Big opportunity here for the Knights. From a standing start, Millie Boyle passes to Southwell. Now Higgins, Upton, beautiful ball there to Kapani. They're tackled 6 metres away from the line. Simone Kapani playing it. Southwell on her own on the last. Will be stopped half a metre short. It'll be a turnover.
Frantic play through the middle there. Some good defence by the Dragons. You know, we touched on Munzelman being on the field for the Knights, and what that pushes Olivia Higgins into that lock roll. The same thing's happening. Keely Davis for the Dragons will push into the lock roll, and Quincy Dodd will take on hooking duties.
10 minutes left in the first half. 35-minute halves in NRLW. Oh, some of the defence we're seeing out here today. Tara McGrath-West. Menzelman's there, Boyle and Higgins as well. Dodd to dummy half. Pearson, now it was from just inside the 40. Upton has it. Gets beyond the 30, and another reminder too is, if you haven't watched a lot of NRLW, 40-30 is the rule. The NRL with the 40-20, but it's a 40-30 in NRLW.
And the Knights have got 2 kickers that have significant ability in this space. Both Southwell and Dibb have good boots. They can find that and get their team on the front foot.
But to be fair, both of them would have no problem with the 40-20 either.
Pretty much, yeah. And Pearson on the other side, same thing.
Exactly. Menzelman a dummy half. Oh, look at Simone Karpani wind up. Tackle McGrath-West down low. Did very well. They continue down the short side. Southwell kicks, and she wants Tamika Upton to chase it. There's the contest between the 2 number 1s, and it was a good take from Tonegado. And then Upton took her. And here's a penalty, so Taylor Predabon going on too long in the tackle.
She's just on the field as well there. Ron Griffiths won't be very happy with that one. Taylor's been so strong for them coming off the bench. That error, though, will hurt them a little bit. This was a great contest between Upton and Tonegado. I thought Upton really timed her run beautifully to be able to put enough pressure on Tonegado without giving that easy penalty away. But the kick here from the Dragons didn't get much ground, so the Knights still have the ability to pin them down in their own 30.
See, Elsie Albert is back on the field as well too now for the Dragons. That was a relatively short break for her, although extended because of the drinks break that was in the middle of it. Here is Albert. In fact, Elsie Albert went off for a HIA check, which she passed, which was good. Wheeler. 10 short of the halfway line here, the Dragons. Tonegado, beautiful ball to Berry. Got room to move, Berry. Oh, but Southwell did well. Only needs half an inch, Tegan Berry. She can be gone. McGregor, Hopkins, Dodd, Albert. Taken high, was she? No, round the shoulder, says Casey Badger. Now Hopkins with a kick. It's for Paige McGregor, and it bounces into touch.
Play the ball.
Knights will get to play the ball.
Where do you want to play the ball?
Yeah, I thought Albert might have been taken a little bit high there, but you're right, Casey Badger just said it popped off the shoulder. So play on. This fatigue that Lockie and Alana have spoken about is really starting to come into play now. It's extremely hot down at ground level. Even with the drinks break, it does take a toll on you, but the second phase play has been significantly reduced by the Dragons. So that means the Knights haven't been getting as much of a roll on, so it's helping their tank a little bit.
A reminder, 35-minute halves. Taylor Predabon. Good tackle, Elsie Albert.
McGrath-West has come out clutching the left arm there. She looks to be in pain.
Menzelman got away from Albert. Wheeler wraps up the dangerous Knights number 14. Last play. Oh, touched Taylor Predabon, went backwards. Kira Dibb did well to take it, then get a kick away. They've allowed it to bounce. Tonegado just gets there to save the day. Whoa.
It's close, that one, wasn't it, Salty? But the Dragons just need to start putting a bit more kick pressure on the Knights. This is now, actually, at the moment, the Dragons are really starting to work their way out of their half.
There's the Roosters arriving, and the fullback Sammy Bremner will join the panel at halftime in this game. Roosters against the Eels coming up after this game. What an afternoon we've got for you on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Don't go anywhere. Great Sunday afternoon of NRLW semi-final action. And this is proving to be a terrific opening contest as we enter the last 5 minutes of the first half. The Dragons. Dodd on the last is going to be tackled, and it's a turnover. And who was there to make the tackle? Millie Boyle.
She's been enormous this half, hasn't she?
Hardest working prop in the game since Williamson.
Ever. Let's just say ever, shall we?
You told me to say it, Roo. Southwell goes to dummy half. There's Romy Teitzel, goes into Dragons territory. Menzelman, they go down the short side. That's a good run there from Takarangi. Been quiet in this game, not a lot of football has gone her way. Here's Taylor Predabon looking to wind up. Good run from Taylor Predabon, and all of a sudden is played the ball on the last 12 away from the line. Dibb rolls it in goal area for Enamanita Paki, but there to save the day is Andy Robinson, and the Knights will get a repeat set.
Again, just rolling through their sets so beautifully, the Knights. That kick from Kira Dibb was perfectly weighted. Again, ball drop was beautiful, came off the foot in such a lovely fashion. The chase was fantastic, and Andy Robinson did really well to just shadow that one over and have to make a last play at it. But I think the Dragons will take as much of this restart time as absolutely possible.
Here's the dropout. Under 5 minutes left in the half. Millie Boyle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she's taken a break, Millie Boyle. As Southwell. Tackle there by Bent.
You are not wrong.
And Jessie Southwell just a bit slow to get up here. And plays the ball, gets back down on her haunches. We'll keep an eye on her as Boyle. Another strong charge. And a penalty given away. Well, they'll keep the pressure on here, the Knights, you would have thought.
Yeah, Southwell looks like she's up and moving about, which is good signs. And Millie Boyle, you've spoken about how much work she does. She's run for 141 metres. She scored a try. She had a try assist as well.
Here goes Predabon. Taylor Predabon tackled 2 metres short. Big opportunity here for the Knights. Menzelman goes to dummy half. Kapani. Now it's with Kira Dibb. And Dibb's tackle. Good tackle it was too from Quincy Dodd. 1-on-1. Southwell throws a dummy. Haley Bent and Elsie Elbert wrapping up the dangerous Knights number 7. Now Taylor Predabon again. Stop the metre short. Kira Dibb. Tamika Upton. Now Bobby Law got it on the bounce. Gets a pass away to Parky. No, she doesn't. Pearson intercepts it. Big play there for the Dragons. And lost it though.
Rachel knocks it on into a defender. Loose carry from you, knocked on into a defender.
Oh, that's such a shame because the defensive read by Fui Mayono was absolutely perfect. On the left edge, the Knights had really set up. They looked like they were starting to strip them. Here we see it here. From light to shade, the read on Upton was massive. She is such a great defensive player. She's wearing the number 6 on her back, but she's playing out at centre today. She's so versatile, such a strong defender, and it's just a shame that that one's deemed to be knocked on because it was really smart play by the Dragons.
Well, we're in these conditions. You've got 2.5 minutes left and defending a scrum. 20 away from your line. It's a big defensive set here. Menzelman almost slipping through. Now Dibb, no markers there. Kira Dibb goes on her own and will score the try. Plants the ball down for the Knights, and a try late in the first half for this magnificent 5'8" for the Newcastle Knights. Kira Dibb.
Well, Saltzy, you spoke about it. So hard to defend a set piece so close to half-time when you're feeling so tired. But this effort by Kira Dibb was wonderful. The setup was beautiful as well. They shifted to that left edge, and when they continue here on the Harvey Norman replay, you called it. She just identified there was nobody standing in at marker. Tonagato was left behind, and she's the fullback who would normally be in a half-A position. Just really smart footy play here by Kira Dibb. And the Knights, they get a 4-pointer before the break, Alana.
Yeah, to suit the conditions, the Knights went to their bench quite early. Emma Manzelman came on, and I think her impact for the Knights has been immense. You see here, she gets a really quick play the ball. The defence are out of position. Kira Dibb looks at Clydesdale, who's sweeping late, and just assesses the defensive line perfectly and takes them on. A little bit too easy for the Knights to go over there.
Kira Dibb. There's the Dragons. A lot of talk in that huddle. Dibb converts a try. Well, that was an important try. So Jessie Southwell, I think you'll find here, is coming from the field for a head assessment, the independent doctor. This will be for an incident that happened in the lead up to that try. She stayed down momentarily. And coming on the field will be Caitlin Moran for the Knights. So Jessie Southwell coming from the field. Fortunately for the Knights, most of that head assessment time, Rowan, will occur during half-time.
Yeah, that'll give her plenty of time to be assessed and make sure she's good to go. But again, Millie Boyle puts her hand up for more work, but she's met by some solid D. Kezzy Apps back on the field for the Dragons. This is going to be an important defensive set for the Dragons here. You know, obviously scoring points for the Knights just before half-time is fantastic, but the Dragons need to just maintain the rage, hold them out again.
In the shadows of half-time, here's a shift. Teitzel thought about an offload, but hung on to the ball, and the siren sounds for half-time. Entertaining 35 minutes in the opening NRLW semi-final. Sees the Knights with a 2 converted try lead as the players go for a well-deserved rest in this warm Brisbane afternoon. Newcastle 18 lead the Dragons 6. Play about to get underway for the second half of this NRLW semi-final. The Dragons against the Knights. The Knights in front by 12. The Dragons, they have got plenty of points and a heck of a lot of firepower in them. So they are well and truly in this contest. As the Knights, with first use of the football in this second half, got underway to a great start, led 12-0. The Dragons got one back. It was 12-6. Then Emma Tonagato had a try disallowed. And a try just before half-time. So the Knights extended their lead to 12. And here's Millie Boyles, played every minute so far in the middle. Oh, what a ball to Bobby Law, and it was a good pass there from Kira Dibb. Having a terrific afternoon. Here's Kira Dibb, and here she is, putting boot to ball. Had to hurry that kick, but oh, what a horrible bounce there for Emma Tonagato. An even worse one there, but Tonagato will get in the field of play. She did well in the end. Oh, the bounce of a rugby league ball. Let's get an injury update. Emma Lawrence, sideline.
Salty Jessie Southwell has passed her HIA, and the Knights' number 7 is just about to come back into the action.
She certainly is. She's got the interchange card in her hand. That's a big plus, isn't it, Ryan?
Massive. It's huge for the Knights, as we see here. McGregor just muscling her way up through the middle there. That's a good run. They really needed that, the Dragons, because they've been under significant pressure to start this half.
Certainly have. There is Jessie Southwell, waiting, biding her time. Kezzy Apps throws a dummy to Elsie Albert. Tackled too short of halfway. Pearson, one of the players with a big boot on her. That's high into the sky, but taken well by Upton, who almost slipped through again. How elusive is she?
Can you believe she's had 2 weeks off? 2 weeks off, and she's just come back in where she left off. She hasn't missed a beat. Her touches, her sniffing around the ball, her support play's been huge, and obviously the platform the middles have set for her have been fantastic, but she's taking advantage of every opportunity.
Clydesdale playing it. Here's Emma Menzelman. Elsie Albert had a back turn, and Menzelman helps herself to a good 17, 18 metres. Millie Boyle now. Boyle, good pass. Southwell, Teitzel. Romy Teitzel. 20 metres away from the line. Had Shanice Parker on her outside, but took the tackle herself. Predabon. I don't think Taylor Predabon knew it was the last, and it's a turnover.
No, that was definitely not the finish to the set that they were after. They had such a lovely finish in the previous set of 6, and that one was just a bit of a non-starter there. And now defensively, they're just going to have to try and earn this one the hard way.
Half of Suncorp Stadium in sunshine, the other half in shade. There's a good run from Andy Robinson. Quincy Dodd to dummy half, penalty. Well, they like this one, the Dragons. Halfway through the set, just short of the halfway line, and they can shoot the touch and go on the attack.
Yeah, Casey Badger was just saying that too slow to get up there, and you know, all the kicks at the moment the Dragons have been putting in, they've just been popping it into where their sun's coming into the outside backs eyes for the Knights. But this one here, good ball to start this set. They really need some good hard runs come back against the grain.
30 metres away here, the Dragons. Wheeler, Apps, Tonegado, Emma Tonegado. No, I was about to say nice pass, but Tegan Berry just couldn't handle it. That's a penalty for a obstruction, a shepherd.
Yeah, so that one's the old run around. Run around her own player and took advantage on the outside there, and that is a shame because they did have a few little numbers there, but I do want to see the Dragons just change the angle of the middles. The middle running at the moment, it's very, very lateral. If they can square up into the line, try and keep the Knights' middle defence honest, and they'll be able to find that space on the outside a little easier.
Southwell for touch, won't find it. And Tegan Berry gets back there and has it for the Dragons, and look out if Tegan Berry finds open space, but Southwell makes up for her error by making the tackle. She looked to bite off more than she could chew there.
She was looking for a lot of ground there, trying to get her middle forward some good possession, but a really good chase to try and shut Berry down, but now again another big defensive effort required by the Knights.
So the Dragons a couple of metres short of the halfway line. Now they go into Knights territory through Elsie Albert. That's a good run from Elsie. Quincy Dodd to dummy half. Hopkins, McGregor. Good run from McGregor. I thought for a moment she was going to find Tegan Berry. Berry goes to dummy half. Hopkins puts it high. Good take there from Kira Dibb. Called Tamika Upton out of it.
She's had a good afternoon, hasn't she, Kira Dibb? Getting her hands on the ball nice and early, making all of her kicks count. Came up with a really smart try of her own as well. And now the Knights, they're the ones up against her. I think the Dragons really were able to sort of stem the tide a little bit.
Boyle. Hit up number 900 for the afternoon for Millie Boyle. Well, it seems that way.
We're going to hit the ton soon.
Taylor Predabon. Tackle 10 short of halfway. Last play, Southwell. Kicks. It's taken on the second bounce, and it'll set up nicely there in the end for Robinson.
Kezzy Apps just stayed down after that contact, the heavy contact with Taylor Credibon, so hopefully she'll be all right because the Dragons need her out there for this second half. Just taking a few big breaths. The trainer will be with her, make sure she's all right. Gets the thumbs up.
Fumayono playing the ball. Into Knights territory, the Dragons. Pearson. That's a good run from
Charlie Holmes into the
Holmes.
fray.
Yeah. Holmes doing well there. Pearson on the last. Kicking Robinson. Knocks it on. It'll be a turnover.
You know, we made a little jest that Millie Boyle was going for hit up number 900, I think it was.
She's in everything.
But you know what, Solsi? She's run for over 200 metres already. She has such a massive engine. She's so powerful and just puts her hand up for more work as the game progresses.
Now the NRL Telstra Premiership Grand Final returns to Accor Stadium in Sydney for both the men's and women's on October 2. Be there to witness all the excitement live. Head to nrl.com/tickets. Good solid hit there.
Well, Keely Davis is back on the field and she's made her presence known. What good contact on Karpani.
Just on tickets. My den who will support Parramatta, if they could just take note of that website rather than call me for tickets, that'd be great. This time of year. Oh, look at this kick. Emma Tonegado, she did well in the end, look out. Splits them, Emma Tonegado. Here comes the cover. Menzelman coming across. Tonegado and Menzelman makes the tackle. Emma Menzelman, Scott Sattler-esque. Great tackle, but the Dragons on the front foot. That ball on the bounce and it's been picked up and away they go. No, got to come back.
Stop, Shanice.
Got to come back. Shanice Parker thought she was away, but
Yeah, I understand. I just don't think it was. I know where
Casey
you get at.
Badger says a penalty.
You can't count the 10 metres. It's offside.
All right, so she's made a call that the Knights' defensive line were within the 10. That's why she's pulled it back here. As we watch this one on the replay, it's a good shift out to the left. I thought Parker did really well to pick that bouncing ball up, and she was away for all money. But to be called all the way back, now this is going to be another big effort. Just speaking about big efforts, on the far side, Tonegado has been with the trainer ever since that ball has been, or since that tackle's been made. She's hobbling. That right foot, she looks to be in significant discomfort, Lockie.
Stay in the middle of the field. They're really effective going through the middle of the Knights. The moment they start to go too sideways or lateral with the football, they're ineffective.
Wheeler, 20 metres away here for the Dragons. Big opportunity for them to get right back in the contest. Dodd, Davis, Pearson, now Fumayono. Tackled 15 away from the line. Another tackle there for Millie Boyle. Now it's with Kezzy Apps. Apps fighting in the tackle. 5 metres away. Dodd to dummy half. Dummy to Davis. Goes to Hopkins. Hopkins to Paige McGregor. Inside to Tonegado, who slips. Easy pickings there for the Knights defence. Dodd. Now Davis. 5 away. Last play here for the Dragons. And they at least get a repeat set. Hopkins looking for more. That's going to be lost. Upton there to save the day for the Knights. And it is a repeat set. Drop out coming.
Really, really smart play here from the Dragons. I like the couple of times they've run corners plays on both edges, so they're bringing that fast, fleet-footed outside back, coming back through the middle against some slower middle D. Really lovely kick, well-weighted, good pressure defensively. This is the Dragons' opportunity to just camp down here, create more pressure, and just hope that the Knights defence can't keep pace with them.
10 minutes gone. No change to the half-time score. The Dragons are knocking on the ball. That's an interesting trap. Goes to Holly Wheeler.
She does have a soccer background, as Rachel Pearson.
Kezzy Apps. No offload there because Emma Menzelman wrapped the ball up. Dodd to Hopkins. Here's Shaylee Bent spinning away from the tackle of Romy Teitzel. Eventually wrapped up. 12 away from the line. Davis. Got runners on her outside. Tale Holmes. Back towards the centre of the ground. Oh, crunch! Caitlin Johnston with a great tackle. Holmes will play it. It's with Davis. Out the back they go. Hopkins. Flat there to Bent. And Shaylee Bent tackled 10 away from the line. Last play. Dodd. Does she know it's the last? Can't get an offload away. Turnover. Good defence, Newcastle.
No, she knew it was the last. She looked to try and set up Zali Hopkins out on the short edge, and then noticed that the Knights had numbered up adequately, and then went open and tried to link up with Wheeler back on the inside. But then, again, the Knights' defence just scrambled really, really well here. Oh, it's a forced error.
Yeah, here's an error. Dodd's got it. Will get there. Does she? No, short. Only just. Quincy Dodd playing the... It's with Hopkins. Now, Furmayono, dummied on her outside, goes on the inside. The ball went to ground, but Pearson was able to get there on the bounce, plays it 9 away from the line. Hopkins, throwing dummies, still going, eventually put to ground, good tackle. Jessie Southwell, Paige McGregor will go on her own, and is tackled 2 metres short of the line. Oh, what a chance this is for the Dragons. Dodd. Wrapped up by Millie Boyle. And Menzelman. Davis to dummy half. Holly Wheeler looking to wind up. Jessie Southwell again. A great tackle. It's the last. They go from dummy half and they won't get there. It's another turnover and more brave defence from the Knights.
Well, haven't we seen some of the big names here for the Knights really step up? Millie Boyle is getting a well-deserved rest. She's going to come off. Southwell came up with a great legs tackle on the last there. Tamika Upton, 2 tackles before, was massive for them as well. Alana.
Errors they've defended, their momentum swings the Knights. Some huge efforts, both single-handedly and as a team. But the only points they've leaked to the Dragons is that Tegan Berry individual try. So if they keep this up, the Knights, they're giving themselves every shot to play in the big grand final next week.
233 metres for Millie Boyle.
Good run, Clydesdale as well.
She's been terrific. Yasmin Clydesdale playing at 5 short of halfway. Here's Johnston. What a charge! 10 metres into Dragons territory. Menzelman, Southwell. They're running it. Teitzel dropped it. It'll be a knock on. So the Dragons will get it. That mistake was on the last, so it's a play the ball here. Still no change to the half-time score. We've got 21 minutes remaining.
And more fresh legs coming on as well. The Dragons have just made interchange. Dodd comes from the field. Tara McGrath-West moves back into the middle, so they want to look to continue starching up that middle third, the Red V.
There is Tara McGrath-West. Started the game.
It's good to see Tonegato's back up and moving more freely on that ankle as well. They need her if they want to get back into this big defence Knights.
Taylor Predabon. Good tackle on Kezzy Apps. You don't often see her put on her back. There goes Tonegato. Taken high, was she? Yes, it's a penalty, Dragons.
That one slipped up. Kira Dibb got beaten for some speed there. As I spoke about, Tonegato's back moving more freely and put a little bit of footwork on the line there and gets gets herself or gets a team down into some really good field position. This is where I think the Dragons can be really dangerous if they continue to change that point of attack through the middle, not just go straight one-outs. I think that's where they'll find some joy.
20 minutes remaining, or tick under 20 minutes remaining. Wheeler. Tackle by Menzelman. Davis to dummy half. Apps. Hopkins. Tonegado. McGregor will be wrapped up. Parker was there along with Takarangi. Now Berry to dummy half. Hopkins with a right foot step back towards the left edge for the Dragons and is tackled 9 away from the line. This will be a penalty. Takarangi penalised for not clearing the play the ball area, so they'll tap and go again here, the Dragons.
Hey, we're good here, we're good. We're good.
Tara McGrath West, 3 away from the line. And it's been all the Dragons the last 10 or so minutes. Now Wheeler. Holly Wheeler for the line will be short. And we'll get up and play it. Davis. That hit a Knight's hand, did it? No, it's not. It didn't.
I think she's saying that she might have played at the arm, not at the ball there, Saltsy, and that's a get-out-of-jail-free card. The Knights are scrambled well defensively, but I'm liking what the Dragons are doing. They're getting that 2-pass, finding a little bit of space where the edges and the ruck meet.
What a great defensive effort has been from the Knights to open this second half. It's been all the Dragons. And here's a penalty. So this will help things for Newcastle. Mind you, they've got to find touch as Jesse Southwell failed to find touch last time they got a penalty.
Yeah, it's a midfield one, so she'll either bite off a little bit less or they're going to have a drinks break now, Saltsy. So
yeah, they will have the drinks break due to the hot conditions here in Brisbane, with the Knights leading 18 points to 6 over the Dragons. Points to 6 in this second half drinks break. Might bring in Darren and Alana on the sideline. What about defensive efforts of Newcastle to open this second half?
Yeah, huge. The Dragons have had all the football this second half, and a lot of it's been down their good ball area too. So that the Knights have been on their try line, and look, that's what wins big games, when you hold out the opposition when you're defending your try line set on set. So huge effort there from the Knights. The Dragons, their season, they've got to pull something out soon.
This was the point in the first half where the Knights took it to another level. After this drink break, they got a little bit of momentum. They had great territory and they got a couple of tries off the back of it. So the Dragons won't want to give up that territory too easy. They're going to have to put significant kick pressure on both Kira Dibb and Jessie Southwell and keep them well and truly away from that try line.
Alana, what have you made of the Dragons kicking game so far?
I think they've had a few good kicks, but territory-wise and distance, they're not putting the Knights under enough pressure. I think the fifth tackle options from the Knights have been far more damaging, and it's probably something the Dragons need to improve, and pretty quickly.
A fine touch on that penalty on the halfway line as play resumes. 17 and a half minutes remaining. The winner will be there on grand final day next week at Accor Stadium. The Dragons have been there twice before. The Knights, in just their second season, looking for their first grand final appearance. Romy Teitzel playing the ball, 32 away from the Dragons line. How often do you see it? A team soaks up a heap of pressure, then goes and scores themselves. The Knights on the front foot. Clydesdale playing it. Upton out of dummy half. Tamika Upton. She won't be stopped. What an individual try from this NRLW superstar fullback, Tamika Upton.
She is electric. Again, this ruck recognition that we're seeing out of the Knights has been huge. going to get this on the Harvey Norman replay. What I love most about this, it's a great run, the lead up. Taylor Predabon comes up with a good run. Karpani comes up with a good run. Off the back of that, the defensive line for the Dragons is backpedaling, and that's when Tamika Upton just pops up, scoops it up out of dummy half, and just shows electric footwork, electric speed. And beating Emma Tonagato is not easy. Like I said, she's come back in guns blazing. Alana.
Well, you think about how much pressure they just had to absorb on their own line. The defensive efforts to hold the Dragons out. They got their first crack after the drink break. Tamika Upton, look at her eyes. She's summing up that defensive line the entire time. She then implements her footwork and her speed. What an effort from Tamika Upton.
Equal highest NRLW try scorer now is Tamika Upton. Her 11th try equals Madison Bartlett. Now Kira Dibb should have no problem from right in front. Converts the try. Coming up next, finals footy continues in NRLW here from Suncorp Stadium. The Roosters taking on the Eels here on your home of the NRLW finals. Wide world of sports. Looking forward to it. So many stars on display in that game as well. A young Parramatta side led by Samai Mataufa, who a couple of weeks ago ran for over 300 metres.
Well, the previous record was Politi with 300, and she just smashed it, 308 as a middle forward. That's massive.
Short kickoff doesn't work. Johnston, tackled by Albert.
This is where the Knights get really dangerous because they've still got 5 interchanges up their sleeve, so they can start rolling their middle forwards and just start pushing through the middle. It's really hard to try and get a handle on.
Yeah, Dibb, oh, that's great interchange of passing. It's off a Dragon. This will be play on here. Tucky has it for the Knights. Oh, it's just put on a back and some solid defence from Robinson.
This is 0, tackle 1.
Nick Wilbig touched the Dragon in the previous play. How much gas is left in the tank for the Dragons? They need to do some defending here.
You're right, Salty. I think this is going to be the biggest litmus test for the Dragons here. Can they hold them out? Can they try and stem that tide and turn it back around? Johnston has been putting a hand up for plenty of work, Savo.
What a run. 21 away from the line. Now Romy Teitzel threw a dummy there to Shanice Parker. Wasn't fallen for by the Dragons' defence. Menzelman. Now Johnston. A nice little offload to Emma Menzelman. Look out. Upton, Teitzel, Romy Teitzel. Oh, what a ball! The interchange of passing. Shanice Parker to Kiana Takadangi. Champagne Rugby League. Hope you don't mind me stealing that one, Fatty. From the Newcastle Knights, outstanding.
Oh, you're not wrong, Salty. That was beautiful passing through that right edge. We're going to see this here on the Harvey Norman replay. Munzelman finds it towards the middle. Caitlin Johnston, this is the offload. This is what's been hurting the Dragons all game. The second phase play the Knights generate has been massive. And that's incredibly selfless by Shanice Parker there. She probably could have gone over herself, but she throws a lovely pass out to Takarangi on that edge there. This is beautiful, beautiful footy. They backed up the defensive effort they had down the opposite end with some just crisp passing down this one. What a good effort, Knights.
Kiana Takadangi with the try. Brilliant. The offload from Romy Teitzel. Well, that one from Caitlin Johnson, terrific, but look at this from Romy Teitzel. Boom. That's great stuff. And the conversion from out wide. Brilliant. Great play from the Knights. Down here, Lockie.
Yeah, well, there's a few star recruits starting to get a bit of recovery now, getting ready for next week. You see Jesse Southwell just come off. As we see the replay there of the try, that was a great offload. We saw what Tamika Upton did with that try, and now Millie Boyle gets her first break this afternoon, and her stats are, well, they're through the roof. She's had 28 tackles, 22 hit-ups, and 233 metres. So she's had a huge game. Millie Boyle, the Stars have really stood up when they needed to.
They certainly have. And this short kick-off goes 10, just didn't. It went 9.98 metres before Shanice Parker got it.
It was very close, and if it had crossed that plane, she was away. She's been absolutely everywhere. I've loved Shanice being played at fullback while Upton's been out. She slots so seamlessly into that outside back role.
So, should the Knights go on to win here? They've got a good grand final record, the club, because the NRL team has been to 2 grand finals for 2 wins. It don't matter in 2001, and the other was Manly in the ARL grand final in 97. 19 away from the line. Can the Dragons get a few quickly here? Kessie Apps, 8 away. They had most of the running for this half and still to score a point since the break. Pearson, Rachel Pearson for the line, will almost roll over and get there, but has made the play it a metre away. Tonegado to dummy half, it's off the legs. This will be a penalty, Dragons.
Can't be quick, can't be quick.
They take the tap here, the Dragons. Holly Wheeler. Wheeler almost able to reach out. Can't quite get there. Oh, here we go. Shanice Parker with the intercepts. The cavalry comes and gets her down. Boy, she read that one well.
Well, it felt like Groundhog Day. We saw the same thing not that long ago, which got called back by Casey Badger saying the Knights were offside. But like I spoke about, Shanice Parker been playing at fullback. She's such an exciting talent. No matter where you play her on the field, I just love watching her play footy.
Moran playing it inside Dragons territory. Caitlin Johnston. Now Tamika Upton. Bent is there to make the tackle. Last play here for the Dragons. Menzelman. Now Moran. Dibb. Kira Dibb puts it over the head of Robinson and just evades Emanita Parky, who is coming through, and a 7-tackle set here for the Dragons.
It was a beautifully placed kick. It just ran a little bit long on her there. And, it was into the sun, forced the Dragons to try and turn and chase, but it just got away from them. And
You had a player in front.
oh, there's a Dragons player was in front. We see Quincy Dodd come back onto the field, try and generate a little bit of space through the middle.
Driving defence here from the Knights. They drove too far. And they've given the penalty away, and the Dragons take a quick tap. Kessie Apps. 9 minutes remaining, down to Illawarra.
Yeah, we just saw Kessie Apps get tackled by herself. And again, another one for the Dragons. A big difference between these two sides for me as they cough up the footy is the lack of support play from the Dragons. The Knights' second phase footy has been instrumental. Casey Badger's going to have a look at something here.
Shorty, Dragons are challenging the decision of a lost ball.
The captain's challenge.
Ruck interference.
They had to challenge it. They have to. 8 minutes 40 odd left. I don't think she's had a stripping action on the ball, but
Robbie Tidesall hasn't cleared the ruck and her hand knocks the ball
good
out.
challenge.
The challenge is successful.
And on the mark, mate. Like I am on the mark.
You can pick it up again there, Alana.
Yeah, I just think the Dragons, to be a more
penalty to you
dangerous
guys.
attacking side, they need to play together. They're sending themselves up by themselves far too often and not asking enough questions of this Knights defence. So they've got to come together, support play, a big issue, the lack of it for the Dragons.
Apologies on behalf of the Captain's Challenge for interrupting Alana there. So the Dragons just wondering, here's Ellie Johnston getting, or Caitlin Johnston I should say, Caitlin Johnston getting
just an on-field assessment. I think she was having just a field assessment. Got the thumbs up though, so play on.
Paige McGregor. 22 metres away from the Knights line. Rui Mayono to Bent. Shaylee Bent playing it to Quincy Dodd. Now Davis, Pearson, Tonegado. Good run from Emma Tonegado, but equally a good tackle there from Kira Dibb and Yasmin Clydesdale. Now Dodd, long pass. Shaylee Bent with a fend, and now a pass to Paige McGregor. And McGregor, good tackle. Emma Benzelman. 10 away from the line. Kezzy Apps to Holly Wheeler. Wheeler with an offload. Now that's a knock on from a Knights player. Yep, and the Dragons will get the ball back.
Say that again? Yeah, it's back, yeah.
Clydesdale was just trying to get in between the offload there. They're going to actually challenge this one.
Scotty, Newcastle are challenging the decision of a knock-on. We've got backwards off Dragons, knock-on from Newcastle.
Got to say, live it looked like a knock-on. Let's have a look.
I guess it depends if they've deemed it's gone
I
backwards
feel
off her
ruling
hand.
back on Dragons. Looking to determine if Yasmin Clydesdale knocks the ball on.
Ooh,
It's like it travelled backwards.
might be a good challenge here.
And now it looks like they're just checking that one on the ground. That one might be the one that is the downfall.
Yeah, that's what Mitch ruled on.
Here we go, on the ground.
Yasmin Clydesdale initially knocks the ball backwards. However, on the ground, she propels the ball towards her opponent's dead ball line, constituting a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well done, Ruth.
Come to you guys, so
You got one. It took until late in the semi-final. Oh no, you got another one earlier. Yes, well done.
Thank you. Take that back. I'll take apologies in writing if you like, Salty.
So what do you think of this Knights team, Ruwan, destined to play in the grand final next week, and we'll have the NRLW grand final as part of our great day and night next Sunday at Accor Stadium for NRL and NRLW grand final day. Are they a team, do you think, that can trouble whoever they play, whether it be the Roosters or Eels? Hang on, here goes Emma Tonegado. We'll get you an answer to that one in just a moment. A metre away from the line. Tonegado getting up and playing it. Through the hands they go. Through Mayono to Shaylee Bent. Bent's tackled by Moran, who got around the back. Shanice Parker there as well. Dodd goes on her own. A metre short is Quincy Dodd. Now Davis. Good hands, Holly Wheeler. Did really well to hang on to that one. They're a metre away from the line. It's hard to believe the Dragons are scoreless this half. Pearson, Tonegado. Still the Knights defence, holding firm. Here's the last. Pearson. Crossfield kick. Good take. Shanice Parker. Paige McGregor forces her in goal, so they get a repeat set here. So you're the Knights, Roo. What do you think of their chances next week? Roosters or Eels, but are they a team that can win this competition now they're in the grand final?
Absolutely. And I think what I've liked most about this Knights outfit, especially this afternoon, what's been on display this afternoon for me has been their defensive efforts, their scramble, their reading in defence, their communication's been really good. Obviously, we've spoken about how good they are with ball in hand. But Shanice Parker, again, she has come up with some massive defensive plays this whole game. And you can just see a team getting around her. And that's, to me, that's what's going to win you grand finals. It's those little efforts, the aggregation of small efforts. That's what gets you over the line when it comes to grand final day. And I've seen lots out of the Knights this afternoon to be incredibly impressed, and I think they can definitely challenge whoever's going to be in there.
The second semi-final of NRLW coming up straight after this game. It's the Eels and the Roosters. It will be a ripper. The Knights are going to go into the grand final. Here's Bobby Law. In quiet this afternoon is Bobby Law.
All the action's been on this right edge. We've seen Shanice Parker with great touches, Romy Teitzel as well. But don't worry, she'll be firing. She'll be firing next week.
Certainly will be. Higgins playing it 10 short of halfway. Moran to Simone Karpani, brilliant off the bench this afternoon. Menselman the dummy half. Romanuck. The lock forward for the Knights, playing it on the last. Dib puts that one high. It's floating. Tonagato takes it well. Dragons coming out of their own end. Don't forget, on Gem tonight from 5:30, the Australian women's and men's Prime Minister's 13. This is going to be terrific. Taking on Papua New Guinea. The Prime Minister's 13 against PNG. Some real stars of the game on show tonight on Gem. We're looking forward to it. Grab a kick. Here come the cavalry, but the Knights are there again. Hucky it was.
And that's what the Dragons are having to do now. They're just going to have to they're trying to find space wherever they can possibly, because the defence of the Knights has really been up to the task this afternoon. Like I said, that's what's impressed me most about their showing. And that's what's going to hold them in good stead, along with runs like this.
Look at this from Johnston. That's terrific. Looking to end here with a flurry, although no, there's going to be a mistake. At the play the ball. Caitlin Johnston, hasn't she been terrific?
She's been huge. This one here, it just slipped out. There's an HIA being, someone's being assessed on the field. But yeah, Caitlin knows. She just let that one slip. But it was a wonderful lead-up run by her, and both her and her front row partner in Millie Boyle have been massive today for the Knights.
You'll find there's two head assessments going on at the same time. One for the Knights, one for the Dragons.
Higgins for the Knights and McGregor gets a thumbs up for the Dragons.
Going through all the questions that are being asked. Thumbs up, good to go. The Dragons will feed the scrum. So Knights fans, get ready for next Sunday. You're heading to the grand final. 2.5 minutes here. An early kick from Pearson for Tegan Berry, but Tamika Upton has got it covered. Just. And can't get away from Berry, who makes the tackle. Oh, a bit of how you going there too between Tegan Berry and Tamika Upton. There's still plenty of chat going on down there too, Roo.
Well, there's plenty of emotion out there today. You know, the Dragons have been held out. They've been held scoreless in this second half, which attests to how impressive the Knights' defence has been. And yeah, sometimes tempers can flare.
There's Romanuck. Just over 90 seconds left. Simone Karpani.
Been impressed with how she's improved as the season's gotten on. Salty.
Oh, there you go. There's a mistake. A rare error from the Knights. And Chantal Stowers has it now for the Dragons. Calais Holmes, tackle 10 short of the halfway line for the Dragons. Through the hands they go. Shaylee Bent, tackled 11 short of halfway. Under a minute remaining. The Dragons through Paige McGregor. Tegan Berry is away, puts in a kick. Oh, what about the hands? Tamika Upton. How did she get that?
I was just about to praise how incredible a kick that was under pressure by Tegan Berry and Upton. Look at this. This is just incredible.
Who's behind her?
Oh, she's such a good player. Tamika Upton, considering she's had 2 games off, to come back in firing is just impressive.
Caitlin Johnston, now Caitlin Moran. Knocks it on. Knock on there from Moran.
Things are getting a little bit loosey-goosey now. The finish line's in sight. They're just starting to try and throw that ball around a little bit. I don't think Ron will be too unhappy that they're starting to move the ball that way. He won't want that happening next week, but enjoy this one, Knights fans.
Yeah, they should enjoy it. They're through to the grand final. The Newcastle Knights. Full-time siren sounds. The Knights are the first team into the NRLW grand final. They'll feature at Accor Stadium next Sunday afternoon. A dominant display over the Dragons this afternoon. There's the smiles on the faces of Kira Dibb. They're celebrating, why wouldn't they? A terrific effort this afternoon. Full time here at Suncorp Stadium. The Knights are into the grand final, defeating the Dragons 30 points to 6.